Today we have half of Good Dear Good.
Yeah, the whole 50% here, yeah.
So Brandon, I don't think we've ever actually had a conversation before.
No.
We've had some pleasantries in the passing once or twice.
Yeah.
And Tim, Andrew, and I had interviewed you last year at Music Week with the other podcaster at the time.
Yeah, back in Truro, yeah.
So I was happy to get to see you guys perform last night. As I mentioned, not being in Halifax, it's not always the most conducive to get to see all the shows. So
Totally.
I did try to get out to see you guys a couple of times and just never panned out. So last night was phenomenal for me. So
Awesome, glad you.
how was it for you guys?
Oh, it was a blast.
it
It
was
was,
so much fun,
really
yeah.
fun, yeah. Yeah, Music Week's always just a really, really good time, and yeah, last night was probably the best, I would say. It was really, really fun.
I was a nervous wreck.
Yeah, I was kind of
beforehand.
nervous too heading
Yeah.
up there, like yeah, getting a little shaky, but you had to kind of channel that into energy in a way, just take that anxiety and get excited
sure.
about it.
And was there a couple new songs in there, or
Probably since you would have heard us,
Yeah.
We had our newest single in there. We played Coffee and Sunshine last year too, but we did have a cover in there last night as well. It was a bit of a different version of July by Noah Cyrus. It was more of kind of a rock version.
Oh, okay.
Lovely song if you've ever heard it, but yeah, we're thinking about actually recording that and releasing it as a cover by the band. So that's why we threw it in the set, and
Cool.
yeah, it's been really fun playing that one.
And I'm seeing all your promotional materials around again. They're popping out to me once again. So
Sweet.
that was one thing I remembered from last year is all your stuff. Actually, I think it was a coincidence, but your color scheme kind of matched a lot of the stuff for Music Week last year.
Yeah,
So
it
it
was
really
accidental,
popped
but
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it worked out.
So when are you performing again? Like now that you've already done the showcase, when are you performing again for anyone that's listening that already knows Good Dear Good and missed last night or saw you last night and can't wait to see you again?
Yeah. I guess we can say it.
Yeah,
It's one of those. I just wasn't sure if we were like, well, we're just gonna, I guess, probably promote it starting this week. But November 25th, we're playing at Foggy Goggle
Awesome.
with Avery Dakin. So
Cool.
it's gonna be super cool.
I may have known that from hanging around here this weekend.
Oh,
but thank you
cool.
for sharing
Right
it with
on.
everyone.
Well, yeah, we got getting it out in the ether now, throwing it out on the podcast. So now it's official.
That's one thing that's fun too, is to be walking around where everybody kind of knows each other. It's fun to get around and have some conversations I even did that with some people I was traveling with earlier. They were having a band conversation in front of me and kind of forgot that I wasn't really privy to
Fly
that.
in the room type thing. Yeah.
I didn't have the context, and all of a sudden I was like, I'm a fan now. I know what's going on, but you can't share all of it. So
Yeah, no, absolutely.
that's
It's like one of those things where you never really know when you're gonna start promoting it. So then, as soon as someone says something, you're like,
yeah.
"Is it time? Like, are we allowed to do it now?"
At least with this one, it's like one that we're planning. So it's just like
Yes,
if we want to talk about it, we can. But there's other ones that it's like we've been offered this show, but I don't think they've announced it yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you can't go spilling the beans too quick. But
I've even had the opposite where I heard about stuff and then mentioned somebody. I'm like, oh, well, see, such and such. I'm like, oh, that's not happening. I'm like, oh, I don't probably want to be bringing that up then. So, because there's probably a reason it's not.
yeah, absolutely.
So do you have, you mentioned you might record that song, but do you have new stuff coming out already? Like,
Yeah. So that's kind of just like an idea.
Yeah.
Like kind of in between. But right now we currently have 4 songs mostly recorded, and we have a couple more that we're going to work on, and ideally releasing an album with our first 3 singles to mid to late 2023.
Cool. And has Brandon been doing anything besides Good Dear Good lately? I'm just curious because I see, Tim, you were up with Jade Bennett, and
Yeah.
I know you have done some, especially back during some of the restrictions, you did some smaller scale stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, are you doing something off the side, or is
No,
it
just Good Dear Good stuff for me. Yeah.
supporting Tim and,
Yeah.
and focusing on Good Dear Good? That's
Yes,
good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. So for yourself then, Tim, are you playing with anyone else? Like,
No, just Good Dear Good, and then back in the summer, I mean, me and Jade have been friends for a while
Yep.
now, but yeah, she was putting together a full band, and knew that I played guitar, so she said, "Do you want to play guitar for me?" And she's excellent. So I'm
Yeah.
really happy she asked me because it's a great band.
I only passively knew her from some of the promotions last year. We just met recently. But I wasn't expecting it to be a full band. And then she mentioned you were playing. So I was like, well, I definitely got to get down there. And then you guys had Kaylin up there and Pat. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is like, for me, I'm a little too close to it now because I've been so focused on East Coast music that even standing outside the lobby, I'm like, oh, why is somebody not filming this? There's celebrities everywhere. Because I recognize everyone from the context of their promotions at least, right? It's made for a really fun weekend. So I'm sure the same for you guys. There's probably a lot of people, and everyone's been saying this on stage too. You have a lot of friends and people you've networked in the past. So there's probably a lot of people you haven't seen in a while yourself.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like Loviat, our friend Natalie, it was the first time we had seen her since probably Music Week. The last time she played, like, I don't know if I've seen her play since then. And, you know, she's been living it up in Toronto and doing really, really well for herself. And it was so nice to see her and Ryan come out and see them play.
That was my first time seeing her, too.
Oh, my God, they're so good.
Yeah. And I caught Brandon's shirt, so I was waiting for you to say something.
True. Yeah, exactly. I also have one upstairs, but we're like, we can't both wear the
we
same
kind of
one,
fought over who was wearing it today.
yeah, because we're big Loviat fans. But yeah, so it's really nice, like, just seeing these people that you have been friends with for years, but not necessarily have seen them in a long time.
Last year was a blast, but I think a lot of people were talking about the vibe, and I don't want to say anything negative about last year because I had a great time. It was a great time, but this year there's a different vibe. But I think some of it, we're not masked this year so much, and last year I think there was
bit of hesitation.
I think there was a tension leading up to it, and the weekend was a relief, and that's why it was fun for everybody because we're like, oh no, there's enough restrictions in place that I don't need to worry about it. And this year, it's more of a back to normal,
I
but
totally agree.
but it's like a fresh coat of paint on it because everybody has new material or their new bands. Like,
Absolutely.
I forget what Music Nova Scotia announced. It was like a super high percentage were first-time nominees this year too.
Oh wow! Excellent.
So that's. As somebody that's looking at the scene of the East Coast music, I mean, that's phenomenal to know that there's that much new content coming out. And
that's amazing.
And they're not all like kids that just learnt guitar. It's like every genre and every demographic.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you could come up with a scenario of a demographic where I am not currently aware of somebody in the East Coast that fits that bill doing music right now. So it's really cool to see. You guys probably know a lot of up-and-coming bands. There was not a festival, like a full-day event that you guys did in the summer.
Oh, on
the waterfront,
Yeah.
And there was like an awesome lineup of all kind of up-and-coming bands.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I knew all the names.
Cool.
But I probably only knew about half of them that I could name songs. And I maybe only saw like one band on the list live before, so I was really hoping to get out. But in that scene, obviously everyone knows who Tim Hatcher is. So is there any of those people that maybe you would tell other people to go check out too? That's kind of a personal question. I want to know too because I'm a fan of that music, right?
It's fine. Like, that's actually where we met Avery Dakin. And we just have been linked up with her since then. And we said, let's do a show. And it was not long after that we got the offer for Foggy Goggle. And she messaged us being like, want to do a show together? And we're like, yeah, well, we have this opening and we're looking for an opener. So let's
awesome.
do it. We're really good pals with Persephone. They opened up for our single release back in June. And they're excellent. We're big fans of Persephone.
Good.
Yeah.
I saw them for the first time at Music Week last year, and they just blew my mind. So good.
They're also a music arts band from NSCC. So we can have that camaraderie of understanding what it's like to go through that program and stuff. And we were in school with Cassandra for a year, or was she? Oh no, we met her the year after. I always think she was in first year for some reason when we were in second year, but.
Persephone's one that I was going to have on the podcast. We'd had some conversations before, but I think they will be in the near future. We were talking yesterday too.
Yeah.
And Avery's drummer is the drummer for June Body as well.
Yeah, he said
Matt.
he's coming down. Yeah.
Actually, he's in the drum workshop just down the hall. If anyone can
cool.
hear
Right
that
on,
in the
sweet.
background. So
Awesome.
he's stopping down probably just after you
Nice.
guys. So what is the cool thing to go do today? Are you guys, I know we were talking earlier that you guys have a little slower schedule, so are you catching any friends play today?
Yeah,
or?
we're gonna go see Sunday Girl, also really good friends of ours.
Look behind you.
Oh yeah, the poster. I expected to see like Laura behind us or something. I was like, is she here?
Yeah.
No. Oh my God, is that Laura?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but
we always talk like we said on I think the first night we got here. Like actually no, it was Friday, and we were finished putting our posters up, and then Laura and Marcus were putting theirs up, and as like a little thanks, I guess Laura like digs into her pocket and she pulls out like pop rocks and was like, "Here you go." And I was like, "Oh, thank you, like for me." And then she was like, "Look at the other side." It was like a little invitation
Oh,
for their
sweet.
show.
Yeah.
But we were like talking about how every time they always did shows, there was always like little candies or like cupcakes that they would make and stuff. And then,
that was nice.
yeah, it was just like a little cute little quirky thing that they do.
Yeah, I didn't get any pop rocks though, so Laura,
Uh-oh.
give me some pop rocks.
I saw some taped to the wall down the hall. I don't know if they're still down there.
I like-
They're gone for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody's on the hunt for some pop rocks.
I think last night, especially after 2 nights of being out late, as it was getting later and people didn't want to leave, if there was anything you could eat, it was gone.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's-
Yeah.
We went back and shoveled some Doritos
Yeah.
a couple times last night, just in between stuff while we were waiting for stuff, just to have a little snack.
I'm also really excited to see the Brood.
Oh yeah, the Brood tonight
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
I need to review the schedule. I've been bad this year for not like fully planning it. I've been just kind of going showcase by showcase, and once I'm at one, I'll check the schedule and see like where I'm going next. But yeah, Sunday Girl's on my list. The Brood. I know
I
there's
think
The-
the Gilberts.
The
oh
Brood.
the
The
Gilberts.
Hat.
Yes, yeah, I
Yeah.
really want to see
So the Brood and the
Yeah.
Gilberts may stop by as well.
Cool.
They're all busy, but I've been talking to both bands.
Nice.
But Sunday Girl, I don't know anyone from Sunday Girl. So if anyone from Sunday Girl is listening to these guys talk, come on down to the Fleur de Lis room. You're up
Absolutely.
next.
For sure.
Yeah,
I think
I'll-
Laura would. be
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
yeah. I'll send Laura.
I've heard nothing but good things.
Oh, they're
wow.
excellent.
And
Also a music arts band. We went to school with them.
did they maybe work with Adam Warren?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
their last their EP that they did was with Adam.
Yeah.
And then their most recent single they did with John Mullane.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what time is it right now? I probably have a few minutes left here before Matt comes down.
Cool.
If you guys have anything else you want to say just to whoever happens to be out there watching the live stream right now,
Yeah.
we will, if anyone missed the beginning of it, I will stop and download this and repost it into Instagram. So,
Cool.
and you guys can share it later or whatever
Sweet.
you want.
Awesome.
But I'm going to just pop down the hall for 2 seconds to see if Matt's down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you guys can just keep going if you want, because I'm going to try to see if I can keep this whole live stream going for an hour and just feed people in and out.
Cool.
And so, as a double of me explaining it to you on the mic, if anyone's listening and you'd like to be on, come on down.
Yeah. It's a great time. Come on down to the, what room is this?
It's the
Fleur
Fleur de
de
Lis.
Lis room. Fleur de Lis. Jesus.
Fleur de Lis.
Yeah, I'm running on fumes this morning. Cool. Yeah, if anybody's out there. Oh God, comedian I am not.
I'm on the camera for the first time this weekend.
Yeah, get out there, see some live music. If you're around Sydney, definitely get out to some Music Nova Scotia events, or Nova Scotia Music Week events. And we are 50% of Good Dear Good, missing Connor and Izra this morning. But yeah, anything you'd like to add?
I do not have anything to say.
Nothing to add. All right. I guess that's our time. Hello, Sydney.